And again he entered into Capernaum after some days, and it was heard that he is in the house. And straightway many were gathered together, insomuch that there was no longer room, not even at the door. And he was speaking the word to them, and they came to him, bearing a paralytic who was borne by four. And not being able to come near to him on account of the crowd, they uncovered the roof where he was. And after they dug it out, they let down the bed on which the paralytic was lying. And Jesus, having seen their faith, saith to the paralytic, Child, thy sins have been forgiven thee. But some of the scribes were sitting there and reasoning in their hearts, Why doth this one thus speak blasphemies? Who is able to forgive sins except one, God? And straightway Jesus, having fully known in his spirit that they were reasoning thus within themselves, said to them, Why are ye reasoning these things in your hearts? Which is easier to say to the paralytic, Thy sins have been forgiven thee, or to say, Arise, and take up thy bed, and be walking? But in order that ye may know that the Son of Man hath authority to forgive sins on the earth, he saith to the paralytic, I say to thee, Arise, and take up thy bed, and go thy way to thy house. And straightway he arose, and having taken up the bed, he went forth before all, so that all were amazed and glorified God, saying, We never saw it thus. And he went forth again by the sea, and all the crowd kept on coming to him, and he was teaching them. And passing by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the custom house, and saith to him, Follow thou me. And he rose up and followed him. And it came to pass, as he was reclining at table in his house, many tax collectors and sinners also were reclining together at table with Jesus and his disciples. For there were many, and they followed him. And after the scribes and the Pharisees saw him eating with the tax collectors and sinners, they were saying to his disciples, Why is it that he eateth and drinketh with the tax collectors and sinners? And Jesus, having heard it, saith to them, They who are strong have no need of a physician, but they who are ill. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. And the disciples of John and those of the Pharisees were fasting. And they come and say to him, Why do the disciples of John and those of the Pharisees fast, but thy disciples fast not? And Jesus said to them, The sons of the bride chamber are not able to fast while the bridegroom is with them, are they? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they are not able to fast. But days will come, whenever the bridegroom shall have been taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. And no one seweth a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, otherwise that new patch which filleth it take away from the old, and a worse tear taketh place. And no one putteth new wine into old wineskins, otherwise the new wine doth burst the wineskins, and the wine is poured out, and the wineskins will be destroyed, but new wine must be put into new wineskins. And it came to pass during the Sabbath days that he was going along through the sown fields, and his disciples began to make their way, plucking the ears of grain. And the Pharisees were saying to him, Behold, why do they that which is not lawful on the Sabbath days? And he was saying to them, Did ye not ever read what David did when he had need and hungered, he and those with him, how he entered into the house of God in the time of Abiathar the high priest, and ate the loaves set forth before the presence of God, which it is not lawful to eat except for the priests, and gave also to those who were with him? And he was saying to them, The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath.